Philip to Evelyn, Sunday, May 16th, 1943, 9:40 a.m. My sweet, we left Lockburn Friday at 4:30 p.m., the men in Pullmans and our trucks and equipment on flat cars and box cars. Altogether, it made up a pretty long train. We arrived here at Fort Dix exactly 24 hours later. Before we could eat, we had to unload all our supplies and equipment, find our barracks bags, and 100 other little details. We are quartered in the thick of a pine woods in little huts that barely sleep 7 men. Conditions are pretty primitive. The only electric light has been rigged up for the orderly room where I am bunking temporarily. Sanitary facilities, too, are pretty crude. I won't go into detail. In short, we're really roughing it. The closest PX is about 2 miles down the road, as is the closest telephone. I have yet to see running water for washing. Last night, Red and I asked the lieutenant if we couldn't go down to the PX in one of the trucks that was going for 1806. We told him in all honesty that most of the fellows were out of cigarettes and that we would bring back a few cartons if he let us go. That's how come I was able to call home. I don't have to tell you how disappointed I was to find that you weren't there, although Mom tells me that you and Gloria waited as long as possible before going to the movies. I did enjoy talking with Mom and Goldie and Harry, though. They tell me, Chippy, that we are only about 30 miles from Philly. There is a bus leaving right from the post every half hour, which takes only about an hour to get to Philly. All that stands between us now, baby, is that pass. As to that, we haven't been told anything, so I guess I'll just have to be patient a while longer. Can you imagine how I felt, honey, when we went right through North Philadelphia Station? We passed through at exactly 1:50 p.m. I wonder what you were doing at the time. Probably going upstairs to feed Adele. Or do you keep her downstairs now that she can sit up? Page 2. I'm hoping I can get down to the PX again sometime today so that I'll be able to call you, sweet. 2. I want to find out if perhaps you'll be able to visit me here if it turns out we are to be restricted. Everything would be perfect if only it weren't so far to the bus, and if I were sure of getting a pass out of here. I'm penniless, but I don't imagine the fare to Philly will be much, and I'll be able to borrow it if I have to. The trip out here was just swell, honey, and Pullman is the way to travel. I've made ourselves a promise that someday we'll take a long ride via Pullman. The fellows played cards all the way, but I was broke and had to content myself with watching. I found a magazine on the train and read a good bit of the time. We were so comfortably installed that the trip didn't seem long at all. And now I must get to work, so I'll say au revoir, Chippy. It makes me feel good to know that I am close to you. I love you. Your Phil.